Before we get too far into today's video, this video is sponsored by my Patreon, all right? We have a Patreon. It's linked in the description. You guys can go over there and subscribe to it and check it out. Get some of the perks, get some of the access, get one-on-one conversations with me and everything like that. Link is in the description. Subscribe over to the Patreon. Shalom, it's No Limit Eddie. Today, I'm going to be giving you my top 5 airport tips for first-time flyers. This video is a part of my non-stop November. We're dropping one video every day for the month of November. Therefore, I suggest you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already, and leave me a like on today's video. My first time flying was a few months ago in February. I flew from LAX to Dar es Salaam, and I've flown a couple more times since then. But when it was kind of getting close to my flight, I was asking like friends and family members and searching on the internet to kind of like get prepared of what it's like to fly and different things like that. And so now that I kind of done it a few times, I kind of have my tips, my advice that I feel like is super helpful to people, and I decided to share it with YouTube, and maybe it'll help a couple of you guys out. Tip number 1 I have is to bring a fanny pack. Regardless of if you're a man or a woman, I know most of the time guys don't really carry bags when they're in the States, but when you're traveling, especially when you're traveling internationally, you gotta have a fanny pack. The reason why I suggest a fanny pack is I usually wear it across my body, but when you're traveling internationally, you're gonna need to have access to your passport pretty easily. And having it in a fanny pack is just, pull it out, boom, there you go. I usually will put my tickets in there. Usually when you're flying international, you have your first flight to a layover and then a layover to your main destination. And so they're gonna give you 2 tickets. And so, I usually have my layover ticket in my fanny pack as well, my wallet and everything else in there. It just makes it easy, right? So these are some of the reasons why I suggest a fanny pack. If you are, traveling in the airport, you're going to be kind of running from this stop to this stop. You can have something in your pocket, and it's going to be so stressful, so busy. Something may fall out of your pocket. You may not even know. You may not even hear it or realize that it's out of your pocket until it's far too late. So that's one of the reasons. Also, when you're going through like TSA checkpoints in America and in also other countries, you're going to need to take everything out of your pockets and all kind of stuff like that. And so it just makes it a lot easier if you have everything that you would normally have in your pockets in your fanny pack. So that way, when you go to these TSA lines, you just take your fanny pack off, drop it in, and put it back on. You might be going through a TSA line and you're kind of getting a rush. People behind you are trying to hurry up and go, and you may forget to grab something out the bag that you took out of your grab something out the bucket you took out of your pockets and put it in there. So it just makes it easy. Get a nice bright color fanny pack, drop it in there. When you're about to leave out, grab it back. So that's tip number 1. Bring a fanny pack. Makes life a lot easier, and put all your basically valuable items inside there. Don't really keep anything in your pockets. All right, number 2, my second piece of advice is to ask for help. When I took my first flight, I went from LAX to Istanbul, Turkey, and then from Turkey over to Dar es Salaam. But when I got to the Istanbul airport, which I believe was the biggest airport in the world, it was like I thought I had more time than I really did. So by the time I ended up getting to my station, the flight had already taken off, so I missed my connecting flight, and so it was horrible, man. I ended up having to stay in the airport for a whole another 24 hours. Like, it was crazy. So my what I learned from that is whenever you get to an airport, immediately ask for help. Go to the concierge desk and say, hey, this is the flight that I'm taking. This is the gate that it says. Where am I supposed to go? And then just get directed to that destination directly from somebody who works there, who knows the airport better than you will. And that will save you so much. There's always going to be somebody in the airport that kind of knows where you're supposed to be going and will typically speak your language, especially if you're speaking English. If you're watching this video, you probably are. Yeah, go to the concierge desk, find a worker, and say like, yo, I'm trying to get here. How do I get there? And that's, to me, is the best thing to do when you get into these other airports. Because if I had just gone straight to somebody who worked at the airport, I'm pretty sure I would have made the connecting flight. But because I just thought like, I go to this gate number, I'm going here, and then next thing you know, it's like ABC, and then it's like ZYX or XYZ, and it's like, what the heck? So then I gotta go here, then it's like, no, actually downstairs, and I'm just going all these different places, and then by the time I finally find the gate, it's like, okay, nobody was there, the plane had boarded up, and it was gone. So I was like, dang it. Ever since that time, I just asked for help pretty much the moment I get to the airport. All right, now this one kind of ties into the second one, which is, like, because I missed my connecting flight, I ended up being in the same clothes for like 3 days or something like that. It was a long time me being in the same clothes, no shower, anything crazy. So I always recommend people now, if you're flying internationally, to bring a change of clothes and to bring some like wipes, like they have like bath wipes or baby wipes, or I say bath wipes probably the best thing to do, but get some of those joints and just have them just in case, because you never know the situation. I would have loved to have a change of clothes in my carry-on bag. When you're flying, you get checked luggage and carry-on. And carry-on is what you, like a backpack, usually you'll take on a plane with you. And so in your carry-on bag, just bring a change of clothes. A lot of airports will also have, like, well, at least the Istanbul airport. The airport in Istanbul had a whole shower, it had hotels, it had everything in there. So if I had to change of clothes, I could have just went and like paid for a shower and then took a shower and then, put my other pair of clothes on. That would have been cool. But yeah, I would say bring a change of clothes. Bring a shirt, underwear, socks, shirts. Bring a whole separate outfit inside of your carry-on bag. And this is for twofold. Number one, you may miss your layover. Or you may be in the airport for an extended period of time. You never know. With weather delays, with all kind of changes in politics, you never know what might happen. So bring a change of clothes for that reason. But the second reason is you may get to your destination and they've lost your luggage. And if that's the case, you won't have the clothes and stuff like that in your main checked luggage. And so having a change of clothes in that sense will be helpful as well. When I got here to Egypt, one of my sister's bags was lost. It was in a whole different city. And so luckily she had brought two luggages, but the one that was lost, if that was the only one she had, she wouldn't have had any clothes. She wouldn't have had any, any of her items that she wanted to bring. So just bring a change of clothes in your carry-on, and on top of that, bring like some wipes and stuff like that too. All right, now this one right here is pretty simple, and that is to buy a luggage scale. When you get to the airport, they're gonna weigh your luggage and kind of make sure that it fits within the requirements. If your luggage is too heavy, then I think they make you pay a fee or something like that, and a fee could be pretty expensive. And so you don't want to be caught off guard when you get to the airport. So what I did was I bought a scale from eBay, and it was a luggage scale. I bought a luggage scale from eBay, and I would just weigh my luggage to make sure that it was always in the requirements. The airline will tell you the requirements for the luggage on their website, and it'll also be like on your ticket as well. It'll tell you how many kilograms you can have in weight in your luggages. And so for me, usually what I would do is kind of pack my bags fully and then weigh it and say, okay, do I have more room? Do I have less? Do I have more room? Or do I need to take some stuff out? And that's kind of how I would do it, so I can make sure to stay within a free baggage range. If you kind of go over the free baggage range, you may end up having to be at the airport, opening your luggage and figuring out what you're going to take out and just throwing stuff away in the airport. You don't really want that to happen, because you might have some stuff you might have some stuff you regret throwing away. So that's kind of one of the things you need to monitor and be aware of is how much your luggage weighs. So keep that in mind. Buy a luggage scale. It's pretty cheap off of eBay. So get one of those. All right, last thing that I would say is do not wear very many clothes. Don't wear like too many layers when you're traveling, because it just makes life a little bit more complicated. Every time you got to go through TSA, you take your hat off, and if you take your hat off, sometimes you got to pull your mask down, and you got to like take the jackets off because you get hot, and then it's just too much. Like, don't wear too many layers of clothes. People will try to tell you that's going to be really cold on the airplane, which it is a little bit cooler, but it's not like I'm freezing frigid cold. I would more so recommend you have, a little crew neck or a little sweater that you can easily take on and off, that you can easily fit inside your carry-on bag. And then, they're going to provide you a blanket as well. So don't wear too many layers. I found myself being pretty hot throughout my traveling, maybe because it's like you're kind of running around a lot in the airports. And also it's a little bit stressful too. Like, it kind of gets your blood pumping, trying to figure out what gate you're going to, trying to make sure you're not going to be held up at immigration and just all kind of stuff like that. So I would say don't travel too heavily layered. Kind of just, if you're a female, I would say really wear a dress. You'll probably be best. That's probably your best bet. If you're a dude, I'd say really just wear like some basketball shorts and a shirt. And then if you want to wear a hoodie, wear like a crew neck, wear something light that you can put on, put off, that you can easily tie to your carry-on, or put it inside your carry-on and stuff like that. And that's pretty much my main tips, my top 5 tips if you're a first-time traveler. It should be helpful to you, because I know when I hadn't flown before, I was looking for every piece of advice. I say this advice kind of covers a good amount of things that I wish I would have known, or that I did know that made it helpful to me. So keep all these things in mind. Leave a like on today's video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. See you guys in the next one. Y'all willing. Peace.